puppies. You guys ready to do some stuff on, well, not on that truck, but the engine for that truck. If you're new, 97 Dodge, had a 12 valve Cummins. It's sitting right there. Had some really bad milky oil. The head might be bad. The block might, I don't know what's wrong. Oil cooler was fine, but I had this idea. If I'm going to replace the head, let's put a 24 valve head on there. And well, that's kind of expensive to do that. But I got lucky. List, I found a 24 valve Cummins that's already been P-pumped. But the pop-off pressure for the injectors, when it's got the standard VP44 injection pump on here that goes to this engine originally, the pop-off pressure is too high for what the P-pump wants. So people are like, you just take it to a shop, they'll knock it out for you. Well, I don't like taking anything to somebody else to work on. So what I did is I bought this little tool. Now, I forget how much this tool was. It wasn't that much, 100 some bucks, something like that. I'll put a link in the description below if I remember. But I had to get the adapter for the 24 valve injectors. What I have to do is I already pulled 1 and 2 out and tested them because, well, it was kind of at a whim earlier and I was curious to see what they were at. And I was kind of hoping that possibly maybe the injectors are a little tired from, I don't know how many miles are on this engine. I forget, the guy that I bought it off of told me, and for some reason I just cannot remember. It's not that high though. I was just like, well, maybe the pop-off pressure is a little lower than what the factory spec for the 24 valve application was. I want about 290, 280 bar, which is about 3,900 to 4,000 PSI. So I bought this little kit, got the adapter on there. You want to put something over the end of the nozzle because this is injector number 2. And try to demonstrate to you guys, I got some off-road diesel in there. This is kind of what's been holding me back. But watch the gauge up there. It's going to go... 3,800 PSI of diesel spraying in there. You do not want to put your hand in that or else she's going to be hurting. See her fog? Film it and run the handle at the same time. But what I'm seeing is a measurement that I'm happy with. So I tested number 1. It popped off about 3,850, 3,900 PSI, which is right where we want it. And I thought, well, let's check number 2. If number 2 is good, then we're not going to touch the rest of them because then I don't have to open up and mess with those. I don't have to take the connecting tubes out, none of that mess. It'll just be good. So I've tested 2 of them. They popped about 3,800 to 3,900. I'm completely good with that. We're going to plug it back in. That was one of the things that was holding me back. I'm going to put her back together. I just got this one's all still loose. And then I can start getting this thing staged and prepped and ready to go into the truck. Well, I got it apart. I did buy O-ring kit and all this stuff. Forgot to mention. So the O-ring kit, it was like 1 set for 14 bucks or 2 for 20. So I bought 2 sets. It's good because, well, I didn't have to track down and figure out which certain O-ring was and crush washer and all that. But one thing that I forgot to mention is how to adjust the pop-off pressure. It's not like turning a valve or anything. It's got these little tiny shims. Multiple varieties of different sizes and stuff in this package. This little package right here, I think it's got 5 or 6 sets of each size. That was 60 bucks for this little guy, but I don't even have to use them. That'll be good for next time. I'm sure I'll run into this later on in life. If not, no worries. It was cheaper to buy all the tools and do this myself than to take it to a guy. I'm pretty confident of that. So let's go ahead and find you guys at home. It's nice to have a bench test rig like this just to see. I remember back in Wildtech we used that, and I was like, oh, I'll probably never use one of those. Proved myself wrong. Didn't just use one, I bought it. Since I'm already invested, I'm gonna replace this crush washer. I got them, so ain't the end of the world. My two used ones, and I got my new one. I'm gonna get a little dab of grease to hold that sucker on there. But before I do that, I have to replace. The O-ring feels fine, but like I said, I'm already here. You're supposed to grease this up, but my hands are covered in diesel, and these things will just slide right in there, guaranteed. Put the grease on there so it sticks to the bottom of the injector. It doesn't fall down. Can't fall in the engine, but it'll get annoying. Afraid to pull it back out if you're unsure of her. Now these tubes have already been taken out by the previous owner, so he did do a little TLC on her, see what's going on. I don't know why he'd pull these. Oh, I guess he could have pulled these out just working on swapping the P-pump in. Put this little guy in there. It all lines up. Yeah. We're a little crooked. There it goes. Now they want this one to, well, this one's just kind of a bottoms out anyway. That one don't matter. This one over here is the one that actually compresses it. You just want to start it off with like 40-ish, 44. Just get it set. Back her out. Make sure. You can tell by your tube if it's flush, it's good. Now we'll crank her back down. I got to reset this to 80, 89, I think it was. And then it should be good. Any day, sailor. There she is. Double check this one. You don't have to take the rocker off. It's exhaust side. Got my foot-pound torque wrench. The incher ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna feel her out right here. That might be, yeah, that's probably tight. Homemade buffing wheel table thing, grinder bench. Works. We need to change it. She took about an hour to get back up to speed. Little guy's gonna be helpful. Scorcher, boys, scorcher. Just went to town. Got all my parts, fired up the cooler before I went to town. I had the idea of that engine is damn near ready to go in the truck and start mocking some stuff up. I've been getting lost in this project the last couple days. Haven't been filming much because I had a buddy back in the day to explain this situation. He was a big time artist, actually very talented. He would get stuck in a painting for days on end sometimes. And I asked, man, how do you do that? Well, you get stuck in that thing. He's like, well, you just get lost and lost track of time while you're working on it. That's just your passion. And I always thought it'd be kind of neat to have something that I would be that passionate about and get lost in it. And oddly enough, it's a freaking old Dodge truck. Love working on these things. I love making them unique. And to catch you guys up, I did put this is insulation, but I mean, sound deadening is the idea, but it should keep a little bit of heat down and stuff like that. I put that on the inside, and since I deleted the factory stuff on this side, I put a layer out here. I don't know how much it's going to help, but it's better than nothing. And as far as the engine, this is something, man. Like I said, this thing was almost ready to go in the truck. I ordered a bunch of different parts for it. I'll explain that here in a second too. But last night I did a valve lash since I messed with the valve train, tightened everything down, put the throttle linkage on the side, got a T for my oil supply for the pump and the power steering. I even got, what do you call it, oil pressure sensor involved, put the brace on there. The guy did a good job putting this thing together, but man, sometimes like short bolts, missing braces, stuff like that, it's starting to add up. And the one thing that happened last night really scared me because I was like, I wonder how the killer dowel pin looks. Let's make sure it's got a VP44 24 valve timing housing on it. And it does. Now you can tell it's just a little bit more recessed to see the killer dowel pin. I just mushroomed it over right there. But if you rotate the engine on the crank 360 degrees, this little white mark and this little white mark, I thought those were the timing marks just from pure glance at midnight last night, but they were one tooth off. Put a photo up. Scared the crap out of me. Good old F-bomb, and I thought, dang it, it's not that big a deal to have to pull the cam and reset it and stuff like that, but I was like, add to the list of stuff. So I went to bed, didn't even worry about it. And I couldn't really sleep, messaged a couple people, Mike's truck, he wrote back, thanks man. And he said check a couple more things, rotate the engine, and I did, rotated 360 degrees, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, yeah, no, it's coming back now, because I've done this several times, but at midnight, your brain's not on. But those two little dots matching up with the 0, that means timing's correct. The cam's not off one. I didn't know if it was some secret to making the cam be a big boy cam or something. I don't know. But we're all good. It scared the crap out of me, but I went to town to get a new gasket because I didn't want to put RTV on there. It's a lot cleaner just to put the gasket. So I got to wait for the gasket for tomorrow, and then I got to make a couple little adjustments, like having a rear engine lifting point, stuff like that. I ordered a turbo, the manifold, the clutch. Speaking of the clutch, this might be a topic you guys were curious about. As far as, I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I'm grateful for the amount that I do have. But looking back, before I even started the channel, I figured somebody with pushing 50,000 subscribers might have a little bit of leverage when it comes to representing products and working with companies and stuff like that. And I thought, well, maybe someday I can reach out to companies and they'll be able to work with me on stuff. And I don't ask for free stuff. I say, whatever you guys can make happen, let's roll with it, because 99% of the time, products like the green truck, there is nothing sponsored on that one bit. This truck here, as of right now, it's got no sponsors at all. Nobody helped with anything, and I'm okay with that. But every once in a while, a company that I've been working with for a while, not working with, but buying their product, I feel like, well, I've been representing them for a while and recommending them. Let's reach out to them, see if we can work together. Maybe we'll save a couple bucks, see what happens. Maybe it'll build something better. And so the clutch, that's been kind of holding me back. I've been bouncing back and forth what I want to go with. Single disc to make it easy on me. And I thought, you know what, I'll reach out to the company that I have a dual disc in my 08 and in my 04, and Tyler's 12 valve has one of them in it as well. So I figured I'll reach out to them. They're not from north, they're down near the bend, and decent clutch, been happy with it. I messaged them, they said call this number, we'll take care of you, figure something out. And so I called them, started talking about the channel, or I started talking about my build first, tell them what I want, and then I mentioned the channel to see if they want to, hang out. They hung up on me immediately, and I was like, what the heck? If they could have just said, no, sorry, we can't do nothing right now, I would have been like, that's fine, let's go ahead and order a clutch, I need to buy one right now anyway. But now, I feel like I don't want to hang out with them at all anymore. So the whole thing, what I'm trying to get at is, sure, it's nice having the YouTube channel, but I'm not getting free stuff every freaking day. There's people that help me out, like the light company and stuff like that. It's actually easier for me just to go buy the stuff. Maybe I'm just not good at this, but maybe I just would rather go buy the stuff. That way I don't owe it to anybody, to make them happy, their own personal, how you doing, let them know that their product's great each and every week. I don't mind working with companies. I actually really love it, but it's such a hassle sometimes. It's becoming not worth it. And that was a good old rant, so I'm sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to clear the air. This truck is so far going to have 0 sponsors on it. I'm going to work with the company for the flatbed. He's just going to give me a decent price on it. It's nothing too extreme, but I'm going to appreciate that, and we'll make a video of his compound when that comes. It actually should be fairly quickly. Got the tires and wheels coming. The engine costs more than the green truck total built, and we are more than double that right now, and just, oh, it's adding up and it's killing me. But we got a bunch of stuff coming. New harmonic balancer. We will have quite a bit of the factory stuff still in place, so that we'll have oil pressure on the dash, we'll have RPM on the dash. The speedo obviously will still be on the dash because I have the same transfer case. So I'm trying to make a stock appearance for the most part. It's going to have aftermarket 3-piece manifold, and just a stock 35 on it for the turbo. I'm going to be happy as hell when this truck is done, but I'll tell you what, trying to make it unique with the P-pump 24 valve, with these seats, I would have been really close to having this thing buttoned up, I would imagine, if I didn't have to spend so much time just trying to make it unique. But I'm going to end this one here right now, guys, because I don't got too much more to talk about. I'm going to spend the next portion of the day cleaning up the shop. It is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all you guys out there. I know it's going to be a day or so behind from actual Father's Day, but stay blessed out there. Appreciate your loved ones. I appreciate my dad very, very much. Hung out with him twice today already. He came down for breakfast, and I went up and helped him for just a little bit at the house. There's so much that him and I want to get done on a daily basis. Man, I need 4 clones of me to keep up with just my dad, and he probably needs 4 clones just so he can get done half the stuff that he wants to get done. So many ideas, so little time. Use your time wisely, guys. People that are out in the streets chanting and stuff like that, that's fine. It's a free country as of yet. But I just look at them and think, man, if I had that whole crew of people come help me out for a day, I might get caught up. Maybe. Caught up for that day's agenda. Oh well, this video's been long enough, guys. I'm adding up quite a tool collection just building on this truck. Crow's foot collection, bench grinder. Oh man, I'm running out of room in the shop. I'm ranting now. See you guys on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the whole build process so far on this. Again, P-pump 24 valve NV5600 DLD 241 transfer case. I got the drive shaft, need the rear one still. If anybody has DLD rear drive shaft that's in Northern Cali, let me know about it for NV5600. I would very much appreciate it. And flatbed, putting 17s on it and a nice, probably ranch hand style front bumper, and we'll end it there. If there's anything else special, hopefully I'm gonna get a BD exhaust brake on it too. That's another company, the PB. Yeah. See you guys in the next one. Later.